Hello everyone, welcome to Sheri's Leaves. I am Sheri. So today I'm going to do a real quick update on my predatory carnivorous plants. I guess that's the word, carnivorous? Carnivorous. So how did that get started is the question, right? I've seen multiple, a lot of my plant channels that I watch, Sydney Plant Guy, Plants by Melissa, Wild Fern, they have all had different types of carnivore plants. And I would say probably the one that really sold me on trying the carnivore plants is Sydney Plant Guy. Because his whole point in getting one wasn't because they're cute. His whole point was he needed help, and he needed help fast for his gnat control problem. That was an excellent video. If you haven't seen it, by the way, just go out there to his channel and take a look. But yeah, so he wanted to see if predatory plants helped him control his gnat issue. Now his gnat issue was out of this world. He has so many plants. I mean, I don't even know if he's ever told us how many plants he has, but it had happened based off the dirt that he bought. He didn't have gnats before he bought the dirt. And the dirt that he bought was an Australian tree fern or something, and it came with a whole heck of a lot of gnats. And so, yeah, so when I watched this and I saw the ones that he bought, the predatory plants he bought, they weren't cute, they weren't frilly and neat looking. I'm going to make them cute. Not to say anything's wrong with it, okay? But because I think some of them are cute, and now that I have a few, I love them. I think they are cute. But why I got them was for the same reason why Jan bought his, but I didn't have a gnat problem. But I did have is I want to prepare for the problem that'll be coming this summer. And another thing is I wanted to get rid of those ugly yellow or black sticky pads, sticky things I had to put in every pot. I don't know how many times I've had them stuck in my hair because I go to pick it up and then all of a sudden I have these butterfly sticky traps in my hair, and it's so disgusting. And I just thought, I'm going to try this because I do not want to deal with these sticky traps anymore. So my first one that I bought were from Predatory Plants. And now I did not buy any pings the first time around. I will put that video in the description of this one. I didn't, it wasn't a great video because I did it on the fly, and I was also going through that phase where I really didn't want to video. But I did pot them up, I think, with you, or after I potted them up. I went over each one that I bought. Now, I bought 5 of them, I do believe. And I'll put the names of them, and I'll put over here a B-roll of those plants and the names that I bought, because I think I'm hoping I still have that saved. But knowing myself, I probably don't. So I may have to recreate them again. If I can't recreate them, I'll figure something out. But either way, doesn't really matter because only 2 of those plants are left. The other ones have all died. Now, I've learned a lot since buying them. Not a whole heck of a lot because it's not been that long. But I have learned a few things about the different type of the plants. So when I first got these, so here is what's left of my first set of predatory plants are these two. So this one is a Drosera Floating, it's called. So these have little particles. I don't know if I can make that any better, but they have little particles on their leaves. And, you know, and that's how they, I guess, eat whatever, gnats, ants, they'll eat ants, whatever comes up on them. Now, I don't think this one is going to make it. And I say that because it doesn't look healthy to me. I mean, it looks a lot better than the others. The others, they didn't last long. This one's lasting a long time. They want a lot of light. Lots of light. So direct light in your grow lights, 14, 15 hours a day. Now, I don't have mine on that long. I did increase the length of my lights just because it's summertime. But wintertime, they're supposed, these, I don't know if these go dormant, but I know the pings do. So we'll see. But I don't know if this is going to make it because, quite frankly, I mean, I don't see any. I do see a lot of growth of the little hair molecules on this plant. I see a lot of growth. You're not going to be able to see it, but I see lots of growth. So maybe he's doing okay. I filled it up the other day. And so we have leca, we have moss. All moss is up here, and then grit on top. And now this one, you're thinking to yourself, wow, he's not very attractive. Well, no, he's not. He's not very attractive. This is a Drosera, I'm saying that wrong. Drosera Binata. Drosera. So this little guy has lost a few, but has regrown. Now, what I don't think you're going to be able to see, because he's eaten most of them, and I don't think you're going to see it because it's the camera too, but if you see this here, those are gnats he's had, or he is having. Most of them are eaten already. I think there might be one up here, right there. Then I think there's a few, maybe one or two in this one, but I don't think you're going to be able to see it, guys. But trust me when I say, this is the one that you want. He is tall, and he's going to get even taller if I don't kill it. I think he's happy. I don't use the water that they say you have to. I use tap water. These guys have been in tap water since I got them. Now that could be reason why the others have died. I take that ownership. But I also think that they could have starved to death too, or they didn't do well in transferring from what they're used to what I'm giving it. But he did. And I think if I remember, they can go to 12 inches in height. I don't know if he will, but the amazing thing is for me is the job that he's done. I didn't even know I had gnats until I pick him up one day and I started seeing all the gnats that he had caught already. And I have him over in the Monstera area where I've got some really heavy, big bowls of wet dirt, right? And we got a moss pole over there. So it's a perfect place for him to find gnats if there's going to be any. And yeah, so he has. And I do think that, I feel like that this one here, this redder one, is a newer leaf. I don't know what you call them, but a new stem, but I can't swear to it. So I've ordered 3 more of the Binatas. And when they come, I'm going to pot them in the exact same way that I have been. And then I'm going to put one over here. I'm going to put one probably back here and then one down here. Even though I haven't seen any gnats on this side, doesn't mean we don't have any, right? So that way we'll see how it goes as the summer progresses. So after I bought these, then I went ahead and decided to say, well, let's try pings. And I ended up going to, I can't remember, I'll put the name of the shop on here. But it's beautiful. They're beautiful little plants. And one especially I just adore. But oh my gosh, guys, they're so much harder. They're so much harder to deal with. I don't know what it wants from me. That's kind of saying what I'm starting to learn. I am starting to learn what it wants from me. Now, when I first got these, and I think I made a video, but I never published it. I may put it as B-roll over here as I'm talking. As I potted these, I did the same thing as I did with these. Except I didn't put them in glass jars. I ended up putting them in just those little plastic pots that I use for my baby plants. But I used the same thing. I did leca at the bottom, I did moss, and then I did the grit. Now, as time went on, I was misting them as well. I was misting them, and I was like, what? I didn't know what was happening, because all of these came pink. Almost pink, not every one of them. This one has been pink ever since I bought it. Now this is the Johanna, and this little flower has been with me since they sent it to me. But all of these others they're pink typically, but they have become something else. And my understanding is, now, again, I'm still learning. So I've done some research on YouTube, watching different, a nursery that sells these. And I reached out to the people that I bought these from. So they said, do not mist the pings. Don't mist them. You'll get crown rot. And I was like, oh crap, maybe that's what's happening, right? And they also show how to pot up these plants. And it's not this way. They actually want drier, and they want rocks. And I'm like, well, they certainly wouldn't want moss like this guy does. These like the wet as you can get them. Loves it. Loves it. It's like a swamp in there. Loves it. But these guys do not. So I ended up taking them out of their pots. I bought this little pond from an aquarium place where I buy the dog stuff. And I put in my pond. So all of this is just grit mix. There's nothing in there. Because they said they grow on rocks. They don't like a lot of moisture. But when they do need some moisture, but they don't want to live sitting in it. So I said, all right, fine, I'll do that. And they want at least 14 hours of grow lights a day. So where I have this, and I'll show you before we're done, is next to it's right underneath the light on the alocasia table. And this one has been just joyful and happy and keeping the pink leaves. But I notice now she's starting to either grow or she's turning, green like these guys. But she's been just beautiful. So the next few I buy are only going to be Johannas, just because I don't know about the others yet. But I digress. So lots of light. And then now so all the grit, and I don't want to tip it too much, but all the grit, I know by the color. There's no wetness anymore. It's all dried up. It's been dry for 2 or 3 days. So now I do have to make that decision. So what I ended up doing when I put them in here, I put enough water in here, but not much, that I didn't want the roots touching the water. And I wanted them high enough that they're just sitting on the coarse rock. I've moved them a couple times because I just kind of buried them just a little bit more in the rock. And what I've noticed here is there's pink growing on this one. So I'm not teaching you anything. This is just my experience with them that I'm telling you about. So when I first started seeing this green, I'm like, what's happening? Am I killing them? I honestly today don't know for sure, but what I think's happening is that they were in shock when they got here, obviously. This one was not. I put them in the wrong substrate, and I think, and then based off what I've read, is they go to a succulent phase. So pings go into a succulent phase where they don't need a lot of water, just like a succulent. They're not dead, they're just in a succulent phase. So my thought was, well, are these that are turning green going through a succulent phase? I don't know. I still don't know. I think I'm going to say maybe no. Maybe they started and now they're like, hey, I'm under all this light and my feet aren't wet all the time. And I'm starting to see this pink here happening on this one, which you probably won't be able to see because I mean, it's hard for me to see, but I saw it under this light. But there's pink starting to happen. So if there's pink starting to happen, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they're happy now. I did notice there's a little bit of dew on them, which is good, because if there's dew, then that means they're not in shock anymore and they're not going succulent. So it's a lot to think about, guys. And if you ask me, Sheri, was it worth it? Not really. Am I happy I have them? Yeah, I am happy I have them. I think they're cute. And will I buy more? Maybe. But I'm not going to buy them for gnat control. For one, for gnat control, you really want something that's going to help you. And that's this guy. So now, will they help? Maybe eventually once they get acclimated to my environment. If they get acclimated, I don't know if they will, if I don't kill them. But one thing that I do plan on doing, now that I know that they don't need a whole lot of water, is I am going to buy a bottle of distilled water, or whatever they call that other kind of water. I can keep that. These things won't use that for a year, the entire thing. So there's no reason for me to use tap water on these when I can buy one of those bottles just for these, and it'll last for a year. So I'll probably do that this weekend. And then, but I'm still going to use tap water on these guys because they're not having a problem with it. Yeah. Now, so the other concern is when you buy these plants is, what are you going to feed them? Well, if you don't have enough gnats, they're not going to be eating anything. And another challenge I have is, well, if they don't have sticky stuff on them, which this one to me still doesn't have enough on it. I don't know. I don't know if it does, but it doesn't feel like it. How are you going to feed them? Well, I know that if they have a little bit of fertilizer, that's enough. Then they're going to be fed. So then, but what's the purpose of having these plants if you're going to fertilize them and they are not going to be eating your gnats? There's just a whole lot of things there, you know. I mean, because if you have gnats, you want your plant to catch the gnats. but they can't catch the gnats if they're not sticky. And if they're not sticky, it's telling you something. So really what I want to just kind of come out with on this video is to give you a real look at what these plants are and real things. I've seen a lot of cute videos on pings, don't get me wrong. I think they're beautiful, I think they're adorable. But if that's all you want them for, then you get them. But maybe after seeing this video, this will give you a lot more to think about. Because if you're buying them for gnat control, these aren't going to be any helpful. I don't know when they'll be helpful for me, if at all. Because I ended up buying fish food. And I put a little bit leaf on every one of their leaves. And they've eaten it. So they don't need gnats. Now, I did put fish food on this one because he's in a spot where he wasn't getting any gnats. But the other one was eating the gnats. So hopefully this helps. I know I would have loved to have seen this video before I bought mine. And maybe this will help you decide which ones you want to buy. You know, the cute ones or the ones that actually do the work. And now I did have a tall, another Drosera that was tall, but he died. He just limped over and died. And I think that was maybe because he was too moist, he wasn't eating, or it was shock. And maybe he didn't like the tap water. But I do know this one was wrapped in moss when I put it in the moss. So this one's really moist. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe I didn't keep it wet enough. You would think that I did, but maybe I didn't. So the one, I have 3 more coming if they survive the trip, which I don't know how they will because they're coming from California, USPS, and it says it won't be till June 6th, which is next Friday. I don't know how these plants are going to live in a box that long. I just don't. So send a prayer up. Well, by the time you see this, I'll have them. But I'll do an update on it. I'm just hoping that this works like this one. If not, well, I'll just move him around spaces and then just let him take over, you know, the control and enjoy these for my cute little window. And speaking of which, let me go over and show you what I've got, where I've got it. Okay, hopefully you can see me. Since I can't see my phone, I'm not sure, but I keep the pings up here right under this grow light. So I keep it next to my Tanderusa, but they're right here. So most likely, since this is going to be up potted soon, look at those roots. I'm going to up pot this here shortly. I'll probably just stick this one up here all by itself and not have a plant up here, but who knows, I'm not sure. But that's where this currently is. So it gets direct light. And I can tell here that they really like that. I'm happy to see pink start coming up on these leaves. That means they're getting the light they need and they're becoming acclimated. Now, let me get the other one. Let's see. So over here, let me go ahead and move this. So this is where I keep, I moved this one. So this one was over in my anthurium. And I thought, well, maybe I'll move him over where I had this one. So this one I had down here Now he's not getting enough light. The Monstera is hiding all of the light there. So I've got to work that out. So I've got this one down here by this Monstera. And we'll see. You know, I don't know if, you know, if they are going to like it or not. Sorry, I'm playing with the camera. I don't know how they're going to do down here, but we'll see. I know that this one loves it, but this one's just not catching anything. So we'll just see. Time will tell. Yeah, it's always something. So, get focused on here. So, that's it. That's kind of all I wanted to go over in this video. I just wanted to give an update. I wanted to give you my opinion about them, and then maybe it'll help you if you decide you want any or not. So, yeah. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll chat with you later. Bye.
Bye.